Hello everyone. Before I start, I'd like to make sure the audio is perfectly balanced. Just feel free to say if it's too loud or too quiet. I wanted to know this now before I start the run. But you're going to be watching the Game Gear version of Streets of Rage, and the reason why I thought about submitting this one to the Big Bad Gameathon is because I think this is the least playable version out of all the three versions I played. I played the Genesis version, I played the Master System version, and I also played the Game Gear version. Okay, chat saying's good. And so I actually did a run before going to Sweden and sent it to Let Presenter. Now I sent it to the submission form, and it got through. So I'll show you a quick menu. 1 player, 2 players. Yep, Game Gear has the link to link feature, or as they call it, the gear to gear. So you can play 2 player, but good luck trying to do 2 player. Who else in the world has 2 Game Gears? The difficulty, there's no normal, just easy and hard. We go for easy. I estimate it's a bit high at first, but after some practice runs, especially when not having a pipe, which is a very vital weapon for getting really good times, I can still play the game pipeless if things don't go to plan. So quickly reset the game, because there's one thing you need to know. Everyone knows the characters Axel, Blaze and Adam, but Adam is not in the game. You only can play as Axel and Blaze. Another thing, especially those who play a lot of Streets of Rage games, there's Axel, who's normally bad at jumping, but he's been given an A, and Blaze, who's got A for jumping. So I'm going to start the time when the character touches the ground. And I'm going to play as Axel because he's a lot stronger. And go. So one of the main things why this game's not great is the combat. Jabs is really slow, and there's a lot of invincibility frames between each jab, and the damage per second for jabs is atrocious. So the strategy is actually use other moves, not called jabs. So back attack is something I learned quite a bit with the back attack this week during practice, and I'll explain more about it in a second. But the main strategy for the early parts of the level is to keep on using back attack or jump attacks, because they deal good damage. You can kill these blue Garcias with a single hit with a back attack for the first level only, because they do have more HP later on. The back attack is the same power as a jump kick, but when you do a back attack, you are fully invincible, which no other Streets of Rage game has ever done. The pipe is the must-have weapon for all your runs, because you can be in a safe spot and still attack them. Good reach, good coverage too. It can kill every blue Garcia in the game on easy. So here comes the Kung Fu dudes. I do not remember their names. I'm terrible. I do know those yellowish-green enemies called a signal. They never slide in this version. The signals are known for their slide attack and throwing the player. And the Game Gear version has up to 3 enemies on the screen at once, and only 2 different types of enemies at a time. So this section you'd be dealing with Kung Fu dudes and regular street thugs. No one else. Now, some of the fun fact about colors. So everyone who, well, a lot of people had a Genesis, and that used a 9-bit RGB color palette which had 512 colors, and with up to 61 different colors on the screen at once. You might be thinking, why isn't there an accessory that has Game Gear compatibility on your Genesis console? Well, despite being an 8-bit platform for the Game Gear, it uses a 12-bit RGB palette, which is 4096 colors, and has up to 32 colors on the screen at once. So basically there's loads of colors exclusive to the Game Gear that makes it incompatible with the Genesis, which is why there's no such thing as a Genesis to a Game Gear to Genesis converter. No such thing exists. A Master System to Genesis exists because obviously Master System has less colors. It has 64 colors, which is a 6-bit RGB palette. So now here comes the boss. The pipe is really good here. Only needs 6 hits to take him out. and there you go. This version only has 5 levels in the game, and this is the streets. We go skip the alleyway and the beach stage seen in the other versions. We go straight to the bridge. Now these are enemies here. The guards here have little health now, so they actually can survive a single jump kick from Axel, but they still die to a throw or backdrop. Now the Black Nora, some of them perform the fake mercy beg, and unlike other versions, even if you go away from her, she will not get up on her feet sooner. It'll be the same time length, let's say. So, I have played co-op twice with Beecham. We did one first back in Sweden in ASA 2016, because we want to try out some Game Gear games multiplayer. Spoiler, the Streets of Rage 2 co-op is fantastic. This one, on the other hand, is the complete opposite, because one player has to play the weaker Blaze character, whilst the stronger character pretty much has to hold the pipe to maximize damage for, quicker KOs. And the first time we played it, well, there was some tag throw techniques where you throw your body to perform a super jump kick, just like the Genesis version. It wasn't that reliable and the reach wasn't that great. We did notice like a huge issue that because there were 2 of us, there was only 2 enemies on the screen at once instead of 3, as you can see right now. And we witnessed a problem when we got to stage 4, which is the factory stage. And we didn't have a pipe, so combat methods was really sluggish. Like, I had to keep on throwing the enemy, and these were like juggling jacks who are known to throw their fireballs. They have a little more health than other enemies, so it took a little bit longer, but it's like there was a lot more enemies to deal with than necessary, and that we died to a time over, and I had to say a word that isn't PG-13 friendly, a top tier PG unfriendly word. It was that unfair. I won't say it out, you better not dare say on chat, or keep the chat PG-13. It was that unfair. So now I got a pipe. Time for some more whacking. Yeah. Okay. As for Streets of Rage, oh yeah, speaking of which, actually, we did play this game again co-op in 2017 this year, and we managed to actually complete the run. Complete playthrough of it. I think Beecham had to use 1 or 2 continues, but I didn't think I had to use any because I was playing as Axon. I was the pipe guy. Beecham was the one who was going by the edge of the screen, throwing enemies towards me so I can finish them up with a pipe swing. Yeah, fine on PC. The co-op is, well, for that one bit, terribly unfair because there was a lot more enemies we had to kill and we got screwed over. Sorry if that S word is considered to be not PG-13 friendly, but we got betrayed by the time, should I say. When you get time over, both players lose a life. But if one player dies, the time resets. But we didn't really think about that. Okay, so do you remember the backup cop? That's a power-up in this version. You pick up the S, it uses a full screen flash, and deals major damage to the boss. And that's how you kill Bongo in this version. Don't forget, jabs are really weak, so if you don't have a pipe, your only other reliable way is to perform jump kicks and back attack, which deals better damage per second than jabs, trust me. So now, round 3, the guards has got a bit more health again, so they actually can survive a throw now, but not a backdrop or a pipe, nor pipe swing or stab. If you throw the knife, it can kill any regular enemy in a single hit, even the most healthiest regular enemies, but that does not include bosses or sub-bosses where they come back again just to fill, as filler. I'm going to try to show you something funny with this in a second. 3 knives. There you go. So when you have loads of objects on the screen, they start to disappear like ghosts, but they still have hitboxes. Yep. The game runs at 20 frames per second max. Where's that last one? Oh, that's it. Okay, I pick up the pipe now. So when you take an enemy's pipe away, you can drop the pipe at least once. The second time you drop it, it's gone for good. But for rounds 4 and 5, you don't pick up the pipe from an enemy. It actually comes out from a box, so you can actually drop the pipe at least twice, which is pretty good actually, because the next 2 rounds can be a bit tough. So I might as well talk about the Master System version of Streets of Rage 1. That version only came out in Brazil and Europe because Master System was still selling like hotcakes, so I say. I mean, that system didn't even die at all in Brazil, even today. They're still selling Master System bundles, or as they known in that country as Tech Toy. But yeah, a Master System version of Streets of Rage 1 exists. It actually runs a higher frame rate than the Genesis version, which is 60 frames compared to the Genesis 30 frames. But there's a lot of drawbacks. Loads of sacrifices had to be made. So for starters, you only can fight up to 2 enemies on the screen at once, and they both have to be the same type of enemy. So you couldn't fight against a Kung Fu guy and a Garcia at the same time. It had to be like 2 Garcias, 2 Signals, 2 Noras, 2 anything, like Noah's Ark. It had to be 2 of the same thing. And on the flip side though, each section can have more than 1 enemy type. So after killing a pair of Garcias, it could be a pair of Noras, then a pair of Signals, whereas Game Gear had to be 2 and only 2 different enemy types. So this is the last section. Now we get to see the lag counter go up really high to like single-digit frames per second. And I gotta watch out for the Jack, because the Jack have fireballs, they lag up the game even more. It's ideal for me to actually drop the pipe and just wait until I find the boss. You could save time by using the pipe YOLO worthy, but you know, if I drop the pipe again, I'd be in a lot of trouble for later on. So the back attack makes me invincible most of the time. Ah, come on. Oh no, 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 no. Ah, I was bad. Okay, hang on. They're off screen. Die, die. There you go. Pipe is so good. It's stronger than a backdrop, the slam attack I just performed. That's how good it is. Good range, good coverage, like I can be in a safe area where the enemies can't touch me. That's more like it. I know when they're dead too, because they bounce off a little bit different than usual. So we got the clones. A bit easier than the Genesis version, because they're a bit slower. And you can actually grab them more reliably too. If you do a jump kick to knock them down, you can somehow do an OTG style grab, ignoring their wake up animation completely. If you face towards the clone, they will always perform a jump, and if you face away, they will always try to grab you. Like this. There you go. Round 4. So if you listen to this melody, this sounds like a track from Streets of Rage 2, and that's because it is. This is the track Back to the Industry from the round 7 of Streets of Rage 2. The 16-bit version for Streets of Rage 1 was kind of a lengthy track, and I don't think the team had a good way to sacrifice the length. You may notice like all these 8-bit versions, like shorter ones, so that's 16-bit counterparts, and I think there was no good alternative loop, let's say, for the 16-bit version. So they just used a track from Streets of Rage 2 because that one had a good loop to cut off, because it's a short loop, so I say. Oh, there's more enemies. Yeah, you think the game's over, but nope, there's more enemies than expected. We got signals again. Oh yeah, what else the Master System had? Okay, so Master System had a really weird use of tracks as well, because Master System actually has 8 stages and not 5. They had some weird choices for which tracks they use for what area. So the character select screen was actually used the stage 1 theme that everyone knows and loves. Round 2 used the character select theme. Round 3, the beach stage, used this theme. Yep, I'm not making that up. They used this theme for the beach stage in the Master System version. Rounds 4 and 5 were faithful, no complaints there for once. Round 6, the factory stage, used a brand new track exclusive to the Master System version. And round 7 used the same track as well, because I don't think they had enough time to make an 8-bit rendition of Violent Breathing, my personal favourite track for this game. And round 8 used the same track as all the other versions, so no complaints there as well. The boss AI for some of them, rounds 1 to 4, they had probably one of the weirdest AI quirks in a game I ever played in a beat 'em up. Do you know what they had to do to make the enemy turn around? They had to run to the other side of the screen first, so that they turn around afterwards. And it looks really stupid when you fight against the claw boss, Zamza, because you can manipulate him to go backwards by jumping, because the Zamza claw guys have that counter attack technique when your player jumps, and they do a supersonic speed counter slash. And so if you go behind the claw guy and then do a jump, he'll go backwards doing his claw stabs, and because he's used his attack, he will just try and run off to the left side of the screen just so he can turn around again properly, because this is the Master System version of Streets of Rage. It has no logical sense of AI. On round 6, instead of being 2 claw fights just like a Genesis version, they added a brand new boss who is really small and fires rockets. He looks like Monopoly because he wears a top hat, and I think he's bald. And the missile is kind of like responds to your inputs too, so if you hold up, the missile goes up as well. So this is the last section of round 4. Yes, round 4, not round 6. This is where the pipe becomes really vital, because they need to take out these dudes very quickly. I don't have any fireballs, which is nice. I can still go up to him and batter him with jabs and back attacks, but they do actually throw fireballs when they want to throw fireballs. They're just more vulnerable than the previous ones. You notice that the first knockback is, you notice that that's much further than your other ones. That's when you know they're dead. I think that's it. Nope, nope, that's not it. And guess who's... Oh no, it's not the... Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. I've got it. So I'll do an OTG grab just so that he gets up again quicker. Where's Mr. X? I said, where's Mr. X hideout? Oh, he's dead. And so that's the end of round 4. Round 5. This is the last level, and unlike the other versions, you don't go left, you go right. Because this is the bad Game Gear version. No. So yeah, back attack saves me because for some reason they decided to make that move invincible when I'm using it. Holy smokes, that's close. Back attack's good here. It's the strongest reliable move. I know suplex is stronger, but you only can effectively do one enemy at a time. For a really good run, it's ideal to not lose the knife in the first 2 sections, which is actually harder than it looks. I think the game does a distance check to see if you're close to the enemy, he will perform a knife stab, but if you tad too far just like that, you perform a throw instead. And a knife is so good because it actually deals a bit more damage than his other moves besides suplex. I think this is the only version to fight against sour cream onion like Nora. They have more HP than the others. That blue clock there, that gives me an extra continue, but that's not a huge issue because it would be if I was first playing it since the submission, but I've been doing some practice and learned a few tips and tricks here and there. So now this is actually a reliable game to run. You should see I've been mashing the back attack just to activate invincibility frames when I need it the most. If I can keep this up at around 25 seconds, which is roughly the average when I kill these thugs, the boomerang boss will come back again. This is the only version as well where the boomerang dude comes back at least, well, makes 3 appearances. The other versions he only appears twice. Oh, come on. No, don't be like this. That's it. Oh no. This is a little slower than usual because I usually fight against the next boss at around 25, so I can still beat him. This is my strategy though when I don't have the pipe. Just do a jab, that's a meaty attack. So he cannot hit me with the kick. Just do a throw because I'm sure that deals more damage per second than jabs. Trust me, never try and do a full jab combo in this game. And there goes the timer. 14 seconds left, or 13 now. There you go. Yeah, says Axel. Safe. So that's not a huge issue dying there. I want to just do a knife throw and knife throw. I miss. I want to throw a knife there so I can at least kill one. Nice, okay, so see that knife stab, that knife throw, that's a one-hit kill against an enemy. A pipe swing will require 3 hits. But does a knife throw kill bosses with 1 hit? No. They actually program the damage values for that, as far as I noticed. Die! Now that's your combo. Go down here, be safe, hold up. Now where's Mr. X? I told you, where's Mr. X? Yeah, knife throws only happen when the enemy's very far away, from my experience. 4, in like other versions, is based on your coordinates. Like if you're lined up against the enemy from one side of the screen to the other, he always performs a stab. So if you're a few pixels too high up or too low down, if that's the right way of saying it, he will perform a throw instead. So this is the two screens of the game where you fight against black Kung Fu experts. I think they have more health than the Noras. This is the second last screen of the game as well. I know my estimate was up by 35 minutes, but that was when I first submitted the game. Good things happened while I was practicing this week. And you notice that's an S there, go save that for the next boss fight coming right up. That should be the last one, there you go. Okay, it'll be fine. I still have 2 uses left because I only dropped the pipe once. Oops, that was my bad. Yeah, if you hold up and the jump button, you can recover from a throw. Take no damage. This is one-on-one now, so be a piece of cake. And you're out. So, Genesis version, Mr. X asks you the ultimate question. Do you want to be his right-handed man? That's cut in both Master System and Game Gear versions. You just fight against his goons and him. So right afterwards. This is the second ever appearance of Red Noras. They only appeared in the last section of Stage 1. And they only appear again in the last section of Stage 5. The pipe will save me a lot of time here. These are the last goons. Oh, okay. I disagree, game. And strike, you're out. Yay! I killed Mr. X. Yay! I saved the world. Yay! Yay! Guess what? This is gonna be a new PB. Oh yeah! Drinks on me tonight. Big Bad Gameathon. And there you go. So the pipless strat against Mr. X literally involves spamming the back attack because you can actually counter his charge move and you can still protect yourself from his gun bullets. That's how bad or broken the back attack is in this game. And I rarely use it in other games. I play the Genesis version sometimes because that actually deals more damage than a jump kick or the final attack of a combo move. But other than that, yeah, this is like A+ tier for his back attack in this game, just because of invincibility.